Hello, welcome back. I'm Lori Williams. I'm a psychic medium, energy healer, animal communicator, and spiritual teacher. And today I want to talk to you about learning acceptance in order to be able to let go of things. So, this comes up a lot when I'm talking to clients or even potential clients, and they want to know how to be able to let go of their past traumas. And the truth of it is, we need to learn to accept. Acceptance is probably one, it's like a universal lesson that we need to learn. We need to learn, like, even through the death process, we need to learn to accept the fact that we're no longer in the physical world, right? So, acceptance is definitely something that we come up against quite often in our life and even in the afterlife. So, what does it mean when I say acceptance? It does not mean that you have to that you're agreeing with what happened. It does not mean that you are okay with what happened. It just means that you've accepted that there's nothing you can do about it. You cannot change the past. Whatever traumas you have, whatever experiences you have gone through, whether it was because of your choices or not, uh, you cannot change any of it. So at the most, what you need to do, or what you can do, is you can accept the fact that it's over. You can accept the fact that you no longer have to let it have any weight on you, or to hold any space within your emotions, or even in your memories, and be able to let it go that way. Because unfortunately, a lot of people struggle with letting go. And is it simple to learn acceptance? Absolutely not. Uh, but the truth of it is what you want to do is keep in mind that by letting it go, you're letting it go for yourself. You're letting it go for your um, the emotional version of you, your emotional body, your mental body. It's not taking up any space. It's not something that's going to continue to like haunt you. Uh, and being able to let it go, like I said earlier, it's not about making it okay in your mind. It's never going to be okay, but you're also never going to be able to change it. So you accept what is. You accept that it happened and that there's nothing that you can do about it, and realize that your power isn't in holding on to it, but your power is in actually letting it go, moving forward, and not letting it have any kind of control over you. If you have, just, I'm going to use an example, but if you're going to have a trauma that comes up in, like, over and over, you're just playing it over and over in your mind. I am sure you would. There's, hopefully anyway. I'm sure there's a million things that you could think of that would be better for you to think of, rather than this, trauma, or this thing that happened to you, this thing that you went through. You know, you could be thinking about going to the beach. You could be thinking about spending times with friends and family, and things that are really like happy and uplifting for you. But because you're unable to let it go, you're stuck thinking about the past and what happened to you and what you went through and how it made you feel and all that kind of stuff. And it really just isn't worth it, because what you're doing in those moments where you're holding on to it is you're allowing it to have power over you. Wherever your attention is, that's what you're giving your energy to. So if your focus is on the past, you're giving your energy to the past. You're giving your energy to the people that hurt you. And for me, that's an absolute hell no. If they have, taken uh enough for me at that point, the last thing that I want to do is give them any more of my time and my energy and my focus. Absolutely not, because that's what I have control over. I didn't have control over what happened necessarily, but I do have control over what I do with it now. I have found the biggest takeaway in healing your traumas is to look at it from a place of, what did I learn from it? Or who did I become because I've had to go through this? Again, it's not saying that, oh, I'm glad it happened. Absolutely not. You're not giving any kind of gratitude to anyone that would hurt you. Absolutely not. But because somebody made a choice to do something to you, you have had to deal with that. That's That's just reality. You're not responsible for what happens to you necessarily, but you're 100% responsible for healing it. And healing can be such a great gift because it allows you so much growth and so much awareness of yourself, and to realize there's parts of you that have had to come out because you were healing through that, or you were going through that. There's it's never about giving your power back to that other person. It's realizing, okay, what did I learn from this? So, like in my case, one thing that I was very grateful that I learned through the process is that not to trust everyone. Not everyone is worth, or not everyone is deserving of trust. So, how, again, I used to trust everyone first until they gave me a reason not to. And I still do that to a degree, I guess. But I'm more aware. I pay attention, like, and if I see a red flag, I trust it. I don't just swipe it under the rug like I used to. So, that has come from a trauma. That ability has been something that I have learned because someone's made a choice to do something that hurt me, right? That's a good thing. That is a very good thing. It helps me to be more discerning. It helps me to recognize who I should be spending my time and energy on and who I shouldn't be. That is all, like, those are all huge, huge gifts. But it all comes with acceptance. There's nothing that you're going to do. There's no way of talking yourself in or out of changing the past. You just can't do it. The next and only logical step for you is to accept that you cannot change the past. It does not mean that you're accepting that what happened. Just you're accepting the fact that you can't change it, and let it go. Stop giving it your focus, stop giving it your energy, stop giving it any more attention than what it has already taken from you. This is your life. This is it. This is all there is. There's not going to be a do over. When you get to 80 years old and you start thinking of, like, oh, well, I wish I wouldn't have spent so much of that time hurting and being in a place of, feeling unwell and um, traumatized, essentially, is what it is. You can't look back on your life, or you don't want to look back. Hopefully, you don't want to look back on your life and regret the fact that you held on to these things. Because again, sitting at 80 years old, you're not going to be able to change the past, the choices that you made. One valuable lesson that I have learned through all of the healing that I have done and that I continue to do is there is no one, absolutely no one in this world that is worth me losing me for. Absolutely no one in this world that is worth me losing me for. And if I don't feel like myself, if I don't feel connected with who I am and recognize that person looking back in the mirror at me every day, then I'm starting or have completely lost who I am. And that's an absolute hell no. When someone takes something from you, you don't have to let them take you from you. And that's what healing is all about, is learning and seeing a different version of you, learning who you are, learning who you truly are at the core of who you are, at the soul level of who you are. And it all starts with acceptance. 100%. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you back here next time. Until then, take care. Bye for now.